Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in today. I thought I'd take you through some things I've been really loving lately, sort of a current favorites type of update, some things that I've noticed myself just using repeatedly, and it does turn out to be 10 products. 5 of them are more, I would say, skin and body related, and 5 are makeup related, so I'll have a good round number like that, and that's just what it turned out to be. The first thing I want to bring up is my Pond's Cold Cream. If you saw the video where I was talking about your grandma's favorite beauty products and I was testing them out, cold cream was a biggie from that video, and basically it's kind of like the OG makeup melting balm. You know, there are other products like this, like I even have one from e.l.f. It might be called makeup melting balm, but you know, you put it on, you can even let it sit on your skin for a little bit and you feel like it is breaking down the makeup that's on there, and then you just kind of wipe it away with a warm washcloth, and that's exactly what I've been doing with this. I really like the feeling of it. I like the moisture that immediately gets on my skin when I put it all over, and I like the thought that, okay, I'm gonna leave this on for just a little bit, and when I go to wipe my makeup off, it's gonna come off like smooth as silk. And I just use a damp makeup eraser cloth. Those are my favorite kind of washcloths, and I know you can just use them with water and remove your makeup, but my friend, this speeds up the process so much. I do this, and then once your makeup is wiped off, you're looking at your face kind of like, okay, I feel that residue, and then I go in and use my Vanity Cream face cleanser as like the finishing step. Really removes all residue but does not strip and over dry. Very sensitive skin friendly. It just seems to be a good process for me, and sometimes I'll skip this if I feel like, oh, I'm short on time, or I just want to go through my nighttime skincare as quick as possible. I might skip it, but I've really been doing it a lot and enjoying it a lot. So cold cream, yes. Here's another nighttime thing I've been using often. This is a brand new thing from e.l.f. and it's their Holy Hydration, which you know I love the Holy Hydration line, okay? Holy Hydration Sensitive Skin Barrier Goals Cream. It says restore and calm. It has 1% colloidal oatmeal and cica, but I every night use the Holy Hydration in the tub, and I'd been sent this recently from e.l.f. and they say this is for dry, combination sensitive, or eczema prone skin, and it's really like rich and hydrating, and I feel like it might be giving my skin an even more potent moisture boost than the regular e.l.f. Holy Hydration in the tub. The texture is not incredibly far off from that, but it just feels like once it's on my skin and I've got it all rubbed in, my skin has a richer layer of moisture on it. It says clinically proven comfy face cream is your skin's barrier bestie. It restores skin's moisture barrier while also providing intense, fast absorbing hydration. They claim it's also going to reduce redness and soothe skin for an even tone complexion. So I've been really loving kind of subbing this in for my usual Holy Hydration face cream. Also, there's no scent in this. I typically use the unscented Holy Hydration too, but this has been really nice. I feel like my skin's been loving it and have not been waking up with any kind of breakout or even like surface level pimples. And something I'll also add to that as I squeeze this out in my hand, I also kind of prefer the squeeze bottle over the tub. The normal Holy Hydration that I use is in a tub, but I've been getting out my tanning drops, my Isle of Paradise medium self-tan drops. These are for face or body, so you can just take a drop of this, mix it in your hand with your face moisturizer, and just rub it in, and you get kind of an overnight tanning effect. I haven't used this in a couple days since my trip, but leading up to my trip I used it and I thought, I'm loving this all over again. And you can also just put a drop or two of this in your body lotion, rub it all over. Like, it's very easy, it's streak free. It doesn't really have any color to it. It's like you're just adding a serum basically to your moisturizer, and it works so well. So if your skin's wanting a little color boost in the dead of winter, that's a good one. And that's been something I've used up and repurchased. I also have the dark tone as well, but for right now, I think the medium is fine. And roller readjustment. Today is my kid's first day going back to school. I had a good cry about it last night. We just had a really great Christmas break, and it's hard to end that. A couple of other like body moisturizing things. We've been using this Tree Hut Merry Mint. When I say we, Belle had persuaded me to get this weeks ago when we were in Walmart. The Merry Mint Whipped Shea Body Butter. I do love Tree Hut's formula in their body butter. It's very light. Ooh, that scent is so good. It's a really sweet mint scent. And it's not one of those body butters that you have to kind of like force into the skin or massage into the skin for a long time to get it to work in. Like, it's just very light and easy. I have a Bodycology minty scented body mist that came from a little set a couple years ago. I know they were selling that set again this year. That layers really nicely with this, but even if you don't use a minty scent, any kind of vanilla I feel like is very good with this one. So I don't know if you'll continue to see this out and about throughout throughout the winter time, but great scent, great texture, and I like the freshness. I do have some kind of heavier scents that are a little more like cinnamony or just really rich and warm, but I like this kind of cooler, refreshing scent too. And finally, here's another one from the grandma video that really caught on with me. Nivea cream. This one I have in that cute little tin that I got pre-holidays. It says ginger all the way on it, but it's just the classic cream that comes in the little pan. And I find myself kind of as my last step of my nighttime skincare, you know, just working this into my hands. My hands get super dry across my knuckles. They can get even just visibly red looking and kind of irritated. And this formula is just so good, really thick and rich. It's like, whereas I want something that can just quickly blend all over the body with a body cream, I like how this is something that's really leveled up for my hands in particular, but you could put this anywhere. They even say face, body, or hands. It does have fragrance to it. I'm not sure how to explain that fragrance. It's very like iconic and specific to Nivea. It almost reminds me a little bit of Coty Airspun powder, but on a lighter level. Another couple favorites here that are coming in are my foundation and concealer. I feel like my experience with these was pretty minimal pre-Emily Awards. Like I had just gotten them and I knew I was enjoying them, but as time has gone on, I've really been enjoying these. So it's the Lifter line from Maybelline, the Plump and Glow foundation. I wear shade 115 in that, and then I'm shade 05 in the concealer. I have more of a brightening shade for me in this. But I've enjoyed this so much. The staying power on my skin is really fresh all day. I use a full pump, maybe a slight bit more. Like I sometimes find myself, for whatever reason, just like pumping out a teensy bit extra. But I've been loving it. The foundation gives a little added moisture boost, but when you see the powder that I'm also loving, that kind of comes in to pair with this stuff and gives me just incredible staying power all day, like it all comes together and works so well. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Smooth Swipe brush with this today. Big old brush, see? But the coverage is just beautiful. I mean, it's a strong medium coverage on me, I feel. And when they say plump and glow, like it's not off the charts glowy as you can see, but it does give a gentle glow. And again, I think part of that is just the consistency of the foundation. It's a little bit juicy. I don't really care the fact that this roller's kind of hanging down here. I just am in it for getting a little bit of shape in my hair today. I just washed it last night, so I feel like the rollers are great on the next day. I've been sleeping on a semi-wet head of hair, just damp head of hair, and this really smooths it out in the morning. And then the concealer is great as well. Got a unique little doe foot. Just a little short stubby doe foot. It's like the doe foot of a little like Shetland pony or something. And then you're going to take a dot of that. A lot of cream wants to come off on that little stocky doe foot, so watch out. What did I just hear? Some kind of screechy sound from outside. Is that like an owl or something? Never before heard sound. And then I'm going to take just my little Morphe brush. Watch me take those dots. And this is kind of, I mean, to explain the consistency of this concealer, it's kind of rich and creamy feeling. It's not like one of those pure liquid concealers. Or like I have recently enjoyed the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum all over again. But this is a little richer than that. That one comes out so thin, it spreads a long way, it still has good coverage. This just has a little more richness, and when you touch your under eye, this is only partially blended in, but it's really giving you an added little moisture boost. I feel like dry skin would like this combo a lot, but I'm just like dotting it in with my larger brush. Going in. Oops, I didn't even grab the same concealer brush, but I'm just making sure I'm well blended here because I'm still having a little residual like dryness from where I had my eye swelling. I talked about it last video, but coming back from Texas, like the last day I was there, I woke up and my eyes were all swollen, really, really puffy. I think I was having kind of an allergic reaction to something. And now that it's all gone down, this one has had a little bit of flaky skin. Another face thing I'm loving that kind of completes this little routine, and I alluded to this weeks ago. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I've got this kind of juicy, hydrating concealer and foundation combo. And when the Airspun goes on top of this, which I feel Airspun is maybe even more heavy duty in what it's giving to my skin than a lot of the other loose powders. Like it really does, I think, add some coverage. It packs more of a punch. And as I live in these products throughout the day and this is on top, everything stays looking really fresh and good, if not even fresher than when this was originally applied. Like a little bit better with wear. Kind of strange. Like I don't quite understand it, but consistently this has been what's happened. So I take some of this powder. I've got it on my little, this is a Catrice angled or triangle powder puff. Get some powder on there and I dab it right in and I go around my T-zone and everything as well. But when I say this stays looking really good on my under eye, like I love it. And this powder has a lot of scent, so watch out if you're not used to it. I feel like I'm practically used to it by now. I've used enough of it. I just, know what to expect when I get it out. Dabbing it in on the forehead. And then I take my little Morphe under eye bullet brush. And this can dust away any excess or just kind of help me blend in what really wants to stay clinging on there. But now, I said I was at a strong medium coverage after this, but you put on this and that powder and I feel like my skin is pretty well full coverage, where I want to be full coverage. I could look down here on my cheek and be like, yeah, I'm still seeing freckles. That's a pretty medium coverage zone, but up in the center of the face and under eye where I kind of want to be really nicely covered, I am. Now, one thing I find myself doing, I know this brush still has powder on it and I'll kind of like continue tapping that over other areas. And now that I know that powder amount is very light and I can kind of gently further set the rest of the face, or I can bring in a separate powder if I want to, but those three are kind of the key products. And I just wanted to shout those out because not only do they look good right away, but they look really good as I continue to wear them. But really oily skin might take issue with these products here because they do give some juice to the skin. Alrighty guys, here's what's happened with the face since you saw me last. I threw on some bronzer, just used Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in Wet Shady Beaches, and my blush is Catrice Soft Glam Baked Blush in Midnight Berry. I didn't choose favorites for blush and bronzer. I've just been bouncing around a lot. I've been using a lot of things that I have, which has been great, but also when it comes to like, what is your favorite right now? Oops, this has broken and the little bits kind of chip off. What is my favorite right now? Like, I'm bouncing around. I'm having fun. Since the blush has some glow, I did not put on any highlighter, although I think I might add more blush. Just while we're talking about it, I love this shade so much. Sometimes once your eye gets done, it reveals how much more blush you need. And oftentimes the lip comes on and that can also reveal to you whether or not you need more blush. But the eye for sure, because the eye, you've gone from no darkness there to darkness there, and then the cheek needs more balance. I did my brow. I used Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I used Morphe Micromanager Gripping Brow Gel. I feel like I sped through all the steps that I just did, and it wasn't really intentional, but maybe just subconscious because I know, like, the kids have to go to school today and Biddy's doing that safety patrol thing and she has to be there a little early. There's a little meeting. I'm just like wanting to stay on top of my day. So this is real life. I used the Everyday Faves palette from Ulta on my eyes. After I put on Milani eyeshadow primer, I just used two colors in here for my look. I used this one, which is called 5 o'clock, and that is on my outer corner and crease. And then this one called Flutter, I believe, is on my inner half of my lid. And that's that for that palette, okay? Did I blend enough? I hope so. I feel like maybe this eye needs more, just a little more up. But I've been loving this palette, by the way. I did not travel with it because I traveled with my little Laura Geller thing, my little fold-out palette, as I talked about in the last video. But I've been enjoying this very much. Very good stuff. Lazy Liner Day, I just used this lace shadow stick in Brown Abyss across my upper lash line and a teensy bit smudged on the lower lash line. Persona Tubing Mascara, loving this. This is an example of what I want to see when the brush comes out. Like, okay, this happens to be a rubber bristle brush, short-ish bristles, but you can see some product in there. Your lashes can really be loaded up without taking too much time, and I enjoy that. And then that brings us to our next step, which is something I've been using a bunch on my lips. And guys, I know I've been on repeat about these e.l.f. stains in these videos and short videos. I've mentioned the fact that it's the product of the season. I've used them a lot. I love popping something on my lips that is that kind of long-wearing stain and then doing what I want with it. Do I add a little lip liner to finish out the look? Do I pop a gloss on top? Whatever. It's It's been really fun, and I've used a lot of Plums Up, and I've used a lot of Cherry Cola. But in recent weeks, as we really closed in on Christmas and surrounding Christmas, I've been getting into this one, which is the one called Left on Red. I think I did a video once where I was like, I'm not using that one so much. Well, I came into it hard around Christmas time, and now I'm wanting to kind of reach for it all the time. So this is the classic Benetint dupe, okay? Left on Red. Said it before, I'll say it again. There's a little like funnel type area in these bottles that is funneling this water weight liquid back down into the reservoir there, and I love that. But let's pop this on today. Look, sheer red. Ever wanted to wear just a little bit of a red lip and have it last and feel like nothing is there? This can be as sheer as you want it to be. Like, here's a very light application, but then you could build. But I have loved this so much. Doesn't that look so great and so natural and kind of effortless? And then you just let that dry, which does not take long. And if you want to put a gloss on top, you can do that. That brings me into my last thing, I guess my 10th thing mentioned in this video. But I've been using my e.l.f. glosses like crazy. Really enjoying this plumping line that they've come out with. The shade called Piggy Bank has been used frequently, and I think it's still in my bag downstairs. It's like this light shimmery color that somehow doesn't look too frosty on the lips, but it gives like this extra dimension to whatever you're putting it on top of, like an extra little reflectivity. That one's been great. And also this one called Apricot Feelings. It looks a little more earthy in the bottle, but really it's just this sheer kind of glazy, not lazy, glazy color that just like pops off on anything. So I'm going to put it on top of my stain. e.l.f., you're crushing it with this stuff. And these actually do have kind of a plumping effect you can feel. Not painful, but it's beyond like the buxom cooling tingle. It's a little bit deeper than that. And isn't that shade pretty? Like, it's popping off extra because it's got this glimmery nature to it, and then also the shine, of course. So I've been loving those. There's also kind of like solid shades, like this one called Burst Bubble. Such a good creamy pink. Creamy sheer pink, won't look streaky. They've just got a really good thing going there, but I feel like it's the shimmery shades that I'm going for most because I'm often popping a stain on my lips and liking to top that off. But let's take the rollers out. Okay, roller's just out. This is where you want to get your fingers into your scalp because you want to sort of break up those sections. Your hair has just been sectioned and sitting with hot rollers all over. My hair looks like I put a ton of effort into it when all I did was took maybe 1 minute to not so carefully put in some rollers. And now my hair has shape and body and everything. I haven't even brushed it or put hairspray in. The 5 hot roller set for the win. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this gave you some good ideas. I think aside from the Isle of Paradise tanning drops, everything is a drugstore product here that got mentioned. And that wasn't intentional. That's just, you know, what the favorites happen to be. I'm really feeling that tingle now. But again, it's not painful. It goes nowhere near Too Faced lip injection, but you kind of feel like maybe my lips are getting plumper. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. I love you. Bye.